Hi, I'm Lennyn Fitzhenry.
And I'm Lennyn Fitzhenry.
This is my granddaughter Lennyn, and she and I are going to show you how to paint this amazing panda bear using Dynasty Fabric Brushes and some fabric paint. So I think she did an amazing job with this, and I am very, very lucky to have this little girl in my life. And Lennyn, how old are you?
10.
10. Okay, and she and I have been painting for just a few years, haven't we? Yeah, we like to do lots of arts and crafts things together. So she wants to show you how to do this amazing piece that she's going to put on her bed. So let's get started. Okay, let's show you how we get started on this project. I think the first thing I would like to show you is how we drew our panda bear to begin with. So I did draw mine in the computer, but if I was hand drawing it, just kind of follow me and watch. It's pretty simple shapes. If you draw a great big oval to start with, then you're going to make some ears off to each side that are like a half a circle. Okay. If you divide the face in half and you keep the eyes below the halfway line, it's actually going to look younger. If I put those eyes up here, it's going to look older. So you can determine the age of your panda bear by where you place those eyes. And then I also kind of visually divided in half the other way. So right in between the center and then divided in half again. That's about where the nose is. And I made the nose kind of like a upside down Hershey kiss. Okay, you could make it an oval, you could make it a heart, just be creative and have fun. The mouth is kind of like two little fish hooks coming out each side. For the eyes, I started, if I were to divide there again, divide the face in half again. Somewhere in here is where I put that circle for the center of the eyes. And then this black patch that goes around the eye kind of reminds me of a peanut shape or maybe a kidney bean. So just, you know, anything close. And you could always draw one, trace it, flip it over, and draw the other side if you wanted it to be exact. For our little horn up on top here, the little unicorn horn that we're going to put up there, just some type of a pointy, but have it come down into the head a little bit as opposed to just sitting on top. It'll look like it's planted in there a little better. And we're not going to worry about the stripes. We'll just kind of make that up as we put our colors in as to how they, you know, how wide they are, how skinny they are, or what direction that they go. So that's how we draw the panda bear. Now let's talk about how we get started on our design itself. So we've got pillowcase that we bought, and it is 14 by 14. You can get pillow covers. I just went online and you know, searched for a pillow cover that was 14 by 14, and you can find them in a lot of different places. It's got a little zipper here, and then I've got a 14 by 14 pillow that's going to fit in there nicely. But to start with, we want to iron some freezer paper inside the pillowcase. Now what that does is it'll keep the paint from bleeding through. So this is the freezer paper, and wax paper does not work. You need to use freezer paper. So the freezer paper, one side is shiny, and that's the side that you want to iron. You want the shiny side up. So when you put it in, shiny side up, and then you're going to take an iron and you iron it. Whatever the hottest setting that is okay for your fabric that you're working on. I was actually able to use the highest setting on this pillowcase because this had a lot of cotton in it, so that worked out just fine. So it'll make this stiffer and easier to paint, as well as keep the paint from going through to the pillowcase. So Lennyn has already traced her design on, but to make it easier, we just traced around it with a pencil. So if you take your pattern and cut it out, and then you want to show them the little scissors. The little scissors is what we use to cut out these. So go ahead and take this out, because we want to be able to trace in our design in here. So all she did was trace around the entire design with the pencil. And go ahead, take the nose out of there too, see if you can get that out. Okay. Now, the lines for the mouth are pretty skinny, so rather than trying to cut the dimension, it's easier to poke some holes through, and then you can stick your pencil down in and make some dots, and then you'll be able to just connect the dots. So if you ever have a design in the middle of something that you can't really trace easily, go ahead and try the little dot-to-dot method. That'll work out just fine. And Lennyn, how did you put the eyeballs in?
We took a penny and just went around it with the pencil.
Absolutely. So that's pretty easy. So any type of a coin that seems like it'll fit in there, because we weren't able to, cut that out. We could have cut the circle out, but easier just to use something that you already have, right? Right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how we prepared everything. Now, we have some Dynasty brushes that we're going to be using. These are fabric design set number 12. And this has a nice variety of shapes that are going to work beautifully with our design tonight. So we've got some flats and some domed and a round, pointed round. So a couple flats. So this should be all that we need to complete our design. So let's get started. The fabric paint that we're using is the DecoArt So Soft. And this does not need to be heat set. The paint, once it dries on your fabric, it is good. So I usually wait about a week before I would wash it, but I can certainly use it immediately after it's dry. It's ready to go. So if you're painting clothing or even some canvas shoes, once it's dry, you can go ahead and wear it right away. Just wait a week before you actually wash it. So no final prep, so that makes it really easy. So let's see here, Lennyn, what I'm thinking, we're going to have a big area here that we're going to have to do with white. Let's go ahead and start with that first. A couple things I just want to point out is we may have to play a little bit with the edge. And I have some paper towels here too, just in case we need it. Now, I'm not wetting the brush, I'm leaving it dry. So when we go to put this in, we can kind of scrub it in. When you work on fabric, it's a lot different than when you're working on a wood piece or paper because of the texture. And so you've got to kind of scrub it in a little bit. You've got to work at it a little bit. So what I do is I kind of stay away from the edge to begin with, and then we'll come back and clean up the edge. So let's start in the center of all the white area of the face, and then I'll just put this. Center? Yeah, so this whole center area here is all going to be white. So the whole face part and the little round eyes where you had the penny, that'll also be white.
Should I just cover it all up with white and then put the black on?
Yeah, so let's do all the white first, and then we'll come back with all the black afterwards.
Okay.
Yep, good job. And I use quite a bit of paint because I want to do it in just one coat if I can help it.
Okay.
In fact, let's go ahead and say that. Okay, so now Lennyn is going to show you what to do when you get close to an edge. You want to slow it down a little bit, so go ahead and pick an edge somewhere and just go right up against it with the white.
Should I do here?
Sure. Good job, good job. So, and then you can go ahead and turn your surface. If it feels more comfortable, Lennyn, go ahead and turn it around now to any position.
Okay.
That'll make it easier to keep your hand out of it. So feel free to just flip it anywhere you want now.
Okay.
Now this is our first time working on a pillowcase like this together. In the past we've done fun little t-shirts and things, but this one's a little bit more intricate, or we're trying to get it a little bit, you know, like nicer edges and things. This is going to be a pillow for in her bedroom. And guess what color is one of her favorite colors? What is it, Lennyn?
Pink!
Pink!
Pink and turquoise.
And turquoise, yes.
Yeah.
I love turquoise also.
They're really pretty.
It's looking very good. And you're not going to know until after it dries a little bit if you need another coat. And I go ahead and put it on right away if I feel, once I get the whole part done, I go back and I take a look, and if I need a little more here and there, I go ahead and do it right away. But I can always come back and put some more on afterwards as well. Now, there's lots of different fabric paints that are out there. Some of them you do have to heat set, so you do have to iron them afterwards in order to make the paint permanent. So Soft by DecoArt, you do not have to do that. So that's why I like to use that. It's one less step I have to worry about. Now, if you were to go drastically outside of the lines, sometimes you are able to go ahead and, you know, take a little wet cloth and get it wiped out of there right away. Or, in fact, let me even just show you with this brush. I could take sometimes this little scrubby brush and sometimes just, you know, scrub an edge, but she's actually staying inside the lines just fine. So right now we have nothing to worry about. If she were to go inside of some of the black areas with the white, that's not a problem. The black's going to cover it. But we'll be a little more careful with the black when we put that on. Also with the mouth, I think you're going to be able to see the mouth through the colors, so go ahead and ignore the mouth and paint right over it.
Okay.
I think you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, if it disappears, we'll draw it back on after the white dries.
I think you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Yep, so it's easier than trying to go around it. If you have a line, sometimes that's easier to just go through it and come back after.
Can I go over the nose or no?
Nope, you want to try to stay out of the nose if you can, because we want to keep that shape. Now, could you have? Yeah, you probably could have, but
Just in case.
I think you can do it.
Yeah. I'm decent at painting.
I think you can, yeah. Good job.
Can I have a little more paint?
Yes, you sure can.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Also, I do believe that the So Soft may be available now in some larger bottles, so 1 ounce or 2 ounce. I'm just not sure what's available these days. We are painting at home during COVID, so but there's lots out there. If you do give it a search on the internet, you're going to find it. What's your favorite thing to do with me?
Probably do like painting wise.
Yeah.
To do like those glasses.
You like doing the glasses, painting on the glasses, yeah. And actually, you did a panda bear on the coffee mug or something, wasn't it?
It was a wine glass.
A wine glass, yeah. Okay, that looks good. I think we're going to leave that alone. And so then in between colors, you just rinse it in water. Okay, I kind of tap it on the bottom of a cup, and that helps to get the extra paint out. And then we're going to want to dry that really well, because if we use the same brush again, we want that to be nice and dry. So we're going to really pinch all the water out of that. But let's go ahead and try. Why don't you, just so you can feel the difference, and then you tell me which one you like better. Let's stay out of that area for now. Let's do the ears.
White?
Yep, black.
Oh, black.
Yep, we're going to do black for the ears. So you tell me which brush you like better for filling in. And a lot of times it depends on the shape. Sometimes you want a round brush for a round area. Now the black is going to be a little bit more of a problem if we get outside the line. So really go slow when you get to the edges of things. And I want you to tell me which one feels better to get on the edges.
Okay, I'm going to try the edge right now.
Yeah, try the edge. Let's see which one we like better.
Oops. I can't have it up.
Sometimes it's just experimenting with the brushes to see which works better for you. Everybody paints and holds their brush just a little bit different. So maybe I might want the round one, she might want the flat one. So you've got to try them both and see what you like better. What do you think?
I like this one better.
You like that one better? And then let me show you one more thing. Here is a little pointed round. So let's say you needed to get in a little spot and maybe that brush just seemed too big. You could actually carefully, with the little tip of this, get right into a small area. So you could use this one too if you needed to.
Mm-hmm. Does that look good?
That's looking great. And how about if we take this little one and let's just get right in that little corner, because it's kind of hard with the flat brush to get those little teeny spots. And lots of paint. So here's another way that you could do an edge too. If you needed to, you could do like your outlining with this round brush and just carefully pull. You just need a little bit steadier hand for that. But otherwise, I think that looks great. I think we'll leave that alone. So why don't you get the other ear done, and go ahead, and if you need to turn this so that you get a better angle, whatever direction you need that to be is fine. Now I'm noticing that sometimes there's a little bit of dots that are coming off your brush. So we're going to do this to protect the pillow a little bit. Put a little paper towel so that, because see how on here, see how there's little spots?
Yeah.
And we don't want those on the pillow. So sometimes protecting the rest of the areas with a paper towel. Mm-hmm. So that you don't get into areas that, did I put that right in the middle of your design? No, there we go, okay. Did I cover up the ear? Yeah. Yep, and I like how when you just lay it down and pull, that's really giving you a nice straight edge, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you lay it down and you're pulling, you're putting pressure and pulling, and you're getting a nice clean edge on that ear. Good job.
And I think it looks better when you follow through with it.
Yes,
like this.
Yes, absolutely, when you follow through with your brush stroke. That's a very good observation.
Okay.
That looks good. All right. So let's go ahead and wash this in some water and start with a fresh load. Okay, so now you need black in these other areas, but I'm almost thinking because that white is so wet, let's let that dry a little bit before we go in there. Let's go back and let's do some fun colors. How about if we get our stripes in up on the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have one little black dot that hit here. We've got a couple options. We can just extend our horn, which is I think is going to be the easiest, and that'll camouflage it. We could have tried to take it off, because right now it looks like it's just sitting on top. Okay, so what do you think for colors? Should we do rainbow colors?
Sure.
All right. I think, okay, so let's line our colors up like a rainbow. So on a color wheel, you would have red, which we've got pink, a blue, and a yellow. Now when you mix those, you get your in-between colors. So your red and yellow is going to make an orange. Your blue and yellow is going to make a green. Your red and blue is going to make a purple. But we already have these colors lined up. So this is how we're going to line it up on our horn too, so that they all look pretty together. Now, we might be doing some pink roses down underneath the horn here. So if we do that, we don't want pink to be down there. So maybe, do we want to start with the pink at the top?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do pink, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, and blue, and purple. All right? Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got to have 6 stripes. So let's see. Let's do them at an angle. That's always good. So we want 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. All right. So anywhere in there is good. Okay. Okay. So this one is dark rose. Now, what brush do you think is going to fit in that little area? Maybe the small flat one. You like the flat one?
Yes.
You want to try the small flat one for the stripes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So go ahead and get the pink in there.
My head was
Yeah, and just, yep, you take your time, just go slow so you get the edges. And if we have to do little touch-ups, we can. And we always have the option of outlining something too, and we can even outline with a permanent marker if we wanted to.
Does that look good?
That looks good, yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna take the little brush here, and I'm going to just get that little tiny spot, because those little corners are too hard to get with your... Okay, so now I'm going to have you go ahead and carefully rinse your brush. Okay, yeah, and just kind of pounce it a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and dry it off on the paper towel.
Okay.
All right, and just really, yep. And if no color comes off on the paper towel, then we're good. Even though the brush might look like it's stained a little bit with that color,
yeah.
What happens is the white filament that is in these brushes sometimes do take on a tint of the color that you're using. That's it. Good job. So that's tangerine that you're using.
Tangerine.
Tangerine. I know, sounds yummy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I know that you can do the little tiny spot this time. So here, let's use this. Just little tiny spots.
I keep feeling my head's in the camera.
No, you're just fine. See, you got it. Good job. Okay, let's go to the next color.
That's nice.
That looks very nice. Okay, next color is
Yellow.
Cadmium Yellow. Now, sometimes when you're working on a darker surface, some of these colors are a little transparent by nature. The color that we're working on, this pink, it's working actually very well. The yellow is covering. But if you were working on a darker surface, a darker gray or a blue, sometimes you have to put some white underneath first so that this color will show up a little more vibrant. Looks good. All right, I like it. Okay, and why don't we just go ahead and get all the colors on, and then we'll look and see if we need any touch-ups after that. How's that?
Yeah.
All right, so your next color is the green.
Okay.
So yellow-green, it says. All right, and then let's do, this one is Indian Turquoise for the blue. So let's wash the brush out and give that one a try.
I think it's satisfying when the water's like all clear. I think it's like satisfying when the water is all clear and then you just stab your brush into it.
Yeah.
And all the just paint just comes off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of slow-mo videos like that.
Now, once we're done painting, we are going to take the brushes to our sink and we're going to use either dish soap or hand soap, anything that's at the sink already, and we're going to wash them really good in soap and water before we put them away. Make sure it's out. But we try never to let the paint dry in the brush itself. So we always rinse it or clean it, right away.
It can ruin it.
So oh, I'm falling behind here. Next we want the lavender. Okay, so let's go ahead, rinse that brush out. And then dry it off good. That'll be fine. Okay.
Looks good so far.
It does. It looks very good. So last color is the lavender. Now, a lot of times when you get towards the end of a project, you want to hurry up and go fast. Just remember, slow it down. That way you get clean edges. Try not to go too fast. And we are using lots of paint, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we're really using a lot of paint. And that helps. So you get a better coverage that way. If you're skimpy with the paint, it'll take you forever. All right, that looks great. Yeah, beautiful.
It looks
Love it.
Good.
Yeah, I really like that. Nice coloring. Okay, so now we have to go back and finish the face area. Let's see how dry our face is. If it's still wet, you know what, we're going to stop, take a quick little break, and we're going to blow dry because we don't want to mess up our white and get our hand in it. So we're going to blow dry this real quick first, and we'll be right back. All right, so I think that's dry now. Just still want to be a little bit careful, and let's go back. We got to finish putting the black in. Get these other things out of our way. So, Lennyn, what brush would you like to use to put the black in those areas? I got another flat brush here too. So you pick the one that you think feels the best to you. Do you want to use the small flat? Do you want to use a small round? You want to try the small round this time? Or it's kind of like a dome. And let's get some fresh black into. There we go. We were talking earlier, I am very, very lucky to have such awesome grandkids.
And I'm very lucky to have an awesome grandma.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they really, each one of you has your own special little talents, and it's just been so fun being creative. You're all so creative and just all have a good heart. Very fun to be around. Looks really good.
Yeah.
All right, so, you can also get the nose, maybe do the nose next. Okay, now, I was noticing we were getting some little drips, so let's go ahead and put a paper towel down on top of our surface just to keep from getting little black spots. And it's because we're using the paint, a lot of it, that sometimes when you come away from your palette that you'll get little spots that might drip off your brush. So just go ahead and protect your surface a little bit, that helps.
I think it looks good so far.
Yeah, I think it looks really good so far.
Should I do the next die?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the next die. Can you reach it without getting the nose? Maybe let's turn it just so we don't put your arm in the nose, because that's exactly what Grandma does. Here, and I'm going to put this down so that we protect our surface a little bit. So when you reload, there we go. It's looking good. And another thing you could do is if you did get too many spots on your background, we could actually purposely spatter little flecks of paint throughout the pillow, and they could be all different colors. It kind of look like confetti, like a party, so that would be fine too.
Or even like put like a flower or something.
Because sometimes when you make a mistake, you have a happy accident because you can turn it into something else, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got some splatters right here.
Yep, and we can come up with something to camouflage those.
We could do the flower.
Yes, we could. That looking so cute. Does he have a name?
I was just about to say, we gotta name him something.
What's a good name for your panda?
Sparkle.
Sparkle. When we load the brush, we're just going to tip right into the middle of that paint. Now, what I'd like you to do is just try it first on a piece of paper to see what happens. So you're just barely going to, and you got to go slow. Now, if I push down, I'm going to have a great big fat line, right?
Yeah.
So I want to try not to push down. So I got paint on the very tip, and I want to try to just go right along that line, okay, on the mouth. So try it first on the piece of paper just to see that you've got to hold it up in the air. So, yep, there you go. And don't push down. That's it. Okay, I think that'll work. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. So, and you have to reload often too. Okay, now where is going to be the best angle for you to do the mouth? Turn it to wherever it feels good. And then we're going to put our paper towel back on. So right about there. Okay, so let's put that there. Okay, now actually that was very good. Now my only problem is I don't think we could see that in the camera. I'm going to see if you can do it upside down carefully.
Okay.
Let's see if we can pull.
Wait, is
if
this
you
dry?
pull that, this part is dry, the white is dry, but remember your black is wet. Okay, so get just a little bit more color on the tip of your brush. Okay.
Is that too much? Or no?
Nope, as long as you don't squish down, you're okay. Okay, and let's, yep, see if you can pull from there. That's it. And just take your time. And part of the reason you have to take your time is because of the texture that is in the fabric. You've got to give the paint time to come off of your brush and get down into the crevices. But there you go, you got it.
Yeah.
So that looks nice. So let's turn it around. And so now all that we have left is the little slits in the eyes. And I'm going to do one just to show you. Okay, so sometimes if you get too much paint in the brush, stop and wash it. Okay, now here, let me go ahead and draw with the pencil because the white is dry. We're just doing like a little curve. And it just gives him a little bit of a, like he's happy.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got his eyes closed, but he's happy.
Good.
Yep, you're good.
That good?
Perfect. Awesome.
Okay.
That is great. Awesome.
I love
Look
it.
how cute. Here, let's turn him around. He's adorable. And he's happy. So, happy guy.
Wait, did we name him Glitter?
Glitter. Yes, we named him Glitter. And we might have to put some glitter on him after so that he
Fits his name.
fits his name. Absolutely. Okay, so now we decided we are going to actually stencil some little roses up near the top here. Now we're going to give it a shot just using the biggest dome brush, okay? This is just, you know, any kind of a stencil pattern that you like would be fine. And what I did was I put tape on the areas that I don't want to stencil in so that we don't accidentally get it. And I see one little hole that I didn't quite catch. We don't want to get it in, so the biggest thing is your brush has to be dry. So if you have just washed it, it's not going to work. You've got to have it dry. This is nice and dry right now. And you can always, you know, kind of scrub it in a circle on your paper towel if you've rinsed it. Okay. We are going to go back and use our pink. Okay, and I'm going to give it a shot first just to test it. Now, normally I would stop and use a stencil brush, but let's see if we can do it with this. So we're going to load this brush up, but I'm going to get rid of all of that extra paint on my paper towel and kind of go in a circle right in the same spot there. Okay, let me try right here. Let's see if it works, or if I got enough paint. Because you want it on the dry side, and I know that a lot of times you want to hurry up and get a lot of paint on there, but if you get too much paint, it's going to seep through. Okay, now what I'm seeing is the area where it was fabric is darker than the area that had the white paint. So we might have to get just a touch more. Really get that off on your paper towel and just carefully go in a circle. Okay. All right, let's take a peek, see if that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna load this for you, and I have you give it a try.
Okay.
Just go in a circle, and
Okay.
yeah, and don't push down too hard. And I'll hold this. We could have taped it also. Yeah, so you don't want to squish too hard. You just lightly and go in a circle, kind of this way and that way and all around.
This way and that way. And you said that that reminded me of the Hokey Pokey. I don't know why.
There you go.
Turn yourself around.
Turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Okay, and sometimes you've got more on than you think. So if you do have it taped down, which I recommend, where I'm just holding it for her right now. We're doing teamwork here. But if you do have it taped down, you'll be able to lift up a corner and take a peek. Should we take a peek?
Sure.
All right, let's take a peek, and we'll see if we need to keep going or not.
I think
it looks good. See, and when we were looking at it, it looked like there wasn't much on there, but there really was. So you had more on there than what we thought. So we're going to do one more rose. So I turned this around so I have the same size. Let's go ahead and reload. Okay, so this time I want you to, okay, so we're putting the paint on. I want you to get it off on the paper towel so you know how it feels. And you can pick a new spot, yeah, and really get the extra. and give it a shot. As long as there's not big globs on there. And go in a circle. That's it. Whoops, that's all right. Don't worry. That was on the tape, so you were saved. That's why we put the tape there, because that's what happens to me.
That is a good demonstration of
That's
what
right.
not to do.
No, it's a good reason why we have the tape on
Yeah.
there. Yeah. It helps prevent us from getting in the spots we don't want. Let's take a peek. Awesome, I love it.
Same.
All right, let's maybe get some, a few
Leaves.
green leaves maybe, okay? All right, let's try maybe the smaller one because I don't want water, well that's full of black, so we're gonna try and wash the pink one and get it really, really dry. We'll pick a few leaves. Let's really pinch all that water out of there. Really get that dry. Okay. I think we're okay. All right. Now, this has leaves all over the place, so we're just going to pick a couple leaves. And there again, I think we'll tape so that we don't get in the wrong spots. So how about, how big of leaves do you want? Do you want like one leaf? Do you want like 3 leaves coming out of there?
Okay.
3 leaves? You
Yeah.
like the 3 leaves? Okay, so we're going to put that down. We're going to put tape over the area we don't want to get into because we demonstrated why, right?
I did it on purpose.
That's right, yes. She wanted to make sure that you guys knew, so she did it on purpose. Okay, we'll just take this here this time. All right, so let's see if you can do it on your own this time. Okay, you're going to start by loading up with the green and then wipe it all off in the paper towel. Really make sure that there's no liquidy stuff. And then just gentle little circles. And let's take a peek. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to try and use a little less paint.
Yeah, because it kind of...
There was one spot, but you know what we can do is when that's dry, we can make a little white line go right through the middle. So
Okay.
we will be just fine. Like said, there's always a way. Now, I do want to make sure, because some of it snuck under, I want to make sure that the stencil is also dry. So just blotting both sides. We'll get the green leaves over here. Okay, so let's see. And you know, part of that, sweetie, is probably because the brush was wet, you know, because we cleaned it between colors.
Yeah.
So let's try one more time to really get that dry. All right. Okay, let's try it again
Okay.
and see if we can get the... And don't squish down. That's another thing. You got to try not to squish down. Just a light touch. Gentle swirls. So when you dig into the edge, that's what causes it to go underneath also. But we're in a good
back
area.
and forth like this.
No, because then it sneaks under a lot of times. It'll sneak under. Yeah, so gentle circle to try to keep it from. And let's take a look and see what you got. That was better this time, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's what we do for the other one. We're going to take some of the white paint on the little tip of that round brush, and we're just going to make a line go right through the middle, and it'll look like it's supposed to, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that one's just fine. So what do you think? Do you want anything else on there?
I think we're good.
I think it's looking pretty good. So I say good job, Lennyn.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good job, me.
Awesome. That's right. We do want to show you how to create some more little spots if you ended up and needed to do some spatter. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to take a little fan brush, and this is a black silver by Dynasty. This is just like a size 2. I'm going to put a little bit of black and some water, about half and half, in a little mix here. Okay, then let's see, let's take a pencil. Always test it somewhere other than your project to see what kind of dots come off. Now when you first start spattering, it's going to be larger dots. So if you want smaller ones, get some of that off of there first. Be really careful. And you know what? We can also, let's cover up the face so that we don't get any on the face. Okay, so we're going to cover up the face with some napkins here so that we don't get on that cute little face you did.
Yay!
Yeah, all right. Awesome, I like it.
Ta-da!
What do you think?
Yes.
That's cool. Yeah, that looks very cool. So there you have it, our little panda Sparkle. And Sparkle has to have some sparkle, doesn't he? And I think it needs to just go up on the unicorn horn. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see what we got here. This is some fine glitter in the So Soft. And I know that they have new glitters out too for the So Soft, but I just have not been able to get any myself. Another one that I have here is Glittering Top Coat. I'm going to see what the difference is between the two of them. And of course, whatever they have that's new is I know is going to be great. So let's see what we got. I just want to see what the sparkle looks like. Now this is going to dry clear, so we're just going to tap it on, but I just want to see how much glitter is in there. Let's try the other one. Okay, I'm thinking this one right here, honey. Mm-hmm. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to just get a little bit and just tap it. And it's going to look white, but when it dries, you'll see the glitter and the colors will be the same colors, okay? So just carefully tap that in. So we have a little bit of fine glitter.
Tap, tap,
Yep,
tap.
yep, and that'll all dry clear after, so that'll be awesome. So I will call him Glitter. Good job. I don't know, maybe he needs to have sparkle in his eyes too. What do you think? The whites of the eyes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, let's do that. Let's put a little sparkle in the white of his eyes. You know, and another thing too that you could have done is we could have, you know, stenciled pattern all over the background. But sometimes simple is nice. That looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, put a little in his eyes, in the whites of his eyes. Yeah, and scoop it up because the more you scoop up, the more glitter you're going to get. So you just kind of...
Can I go over the black part?
Yeah, because it'll show clear. Yeah, it'll be clear. As long as the black is dry, just don't disturb it. And I do real gentle, don't push too hard. Yeah, just gentle, so it just kind of sits on there. Yep, there you go. That's it. Nice. And then when that dries, you'll be able to see the little bit of glitter. I'll hold it up here. Let's see if you see a little bit of the sparkle there. We are all done. So Lennyn, you did an amazing job.
Yeah.
You are welcome. And I hope that you will give this a try. The Dynasty Fabric Art brushes really do make it easy to work on fabric. So give that a shot. Please subscribe to the Dynasty Brush YouTube channel and be sure to give us a like. and give us, share us with other friends and family that might be interested in giving this a try as well. So thank you so much for watching and hope to see you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.